CARMAN. Supercharging cancer fighters. Your immune system has been fighting for your life since the moment you were born. But what if we could take those fighters, soup them up in a lab and send them back in like elite special forces? That's not science fiction anymore. That's what one team of European researchers just tested on some of the sickest lymphoma patients alive. And the results suggest we might have been treating cancer all wrong. The question is, can we catch cancer before it catches us? Mantle cell lymphoma is one of those diagnoses that stops a conversation cold. It's rare, aggressive, and historically brutal. Patients get hammered with chemotherapy, they lose their hair, they get temporary remission. Then it comes back, and when it comes back, it's meaner. For decades, doctors could only throw the same playbook at it again and again, hoping something stuck. Then about 10 years ago, a new drug class called BTK inhibitors started changing the game. These targeted pills could hold the line, but they weren't cures, they were stalling tactics. So oncologists asked themselves a dangerous question. What if we didn't wait until cancer was winning? What if we hit it hard and fast while patients were still strong? Marie-Christine Tilch and her team at the University of Mainz in Germany decided to find out. They pulled together researchers from across Europe, Spain, France, Czech Republic, Germany, and launched what's called the CARMAN trial in 2026. This wasn't some small pilot study. This was a major international effort published in BMC Cancer, designed to answer one of oncology's hottest questions. Can we cure mantle cell lymphoma by attacking it earlier than we ever dared before? Here's how they set it up. They took patients with newly diagnosed high-risk mantle cell lymphoma, the really aggressive kind. Half got what we'd call the experimental arm. These patients got a short, sharp blast of 2 drugs, rituximab and ibrutinib. Nothing too fancy. Then here's where it gets wild. They harvested their own immune cells, sent them to a lab, and had technicians reprogram them like biological software. These cells got equipped with a CAR-T receptor, basically a targeting system that makes them hunt down cancer with laser focus. The doctors then infused those upgraded cells back into the patients and followed them for 6 months on maintenance therapy. Think of it like this. Instead of hiring a security guard to patrol the whole building forever, you identify the specific intruder, train your security team to recognize that exact face, and then let them work while you keep the building on high alert. The other half of the trial got standard care. The older playbook. Heavy induction therapy followed by long-term maintenance. Then researchers compared what happened next. What they found was striking. The patients who got the early CAR-T intensity, the aggressive new approach, showed better disease control. Fewer patients relapsed. When we talk about relapse in mantle cell lymphoma, we're not talking about something abstract. We're talking about a patient who felt healthy for a while, waking up one morning with symptoms returning. It means going back to the hospital, more treatment, more uncertainty. The experimental group experienced that less often. The response rates were solid. And here's the part that matters most. Toxicity was manageable. CAR-T therapy sounds like it could melt your insides, because in some cases it can. Cytokine release syndrome, neurotoxicity, severe immune complications. These are real risks. But the researchers found that when you give CAR-T earlier in the disease course, before patients have been pounded by years of prior therapy, their bodies tolerate it better. It's like your immune system is fresher, more resilient. The overall safety profile didn't blow any alarm bells. This wasn't just effective, it was actually tolerable. That's huge. Here's what that actually means for someone sitting in an oncologist's chair right now. If you're diagnosed with high-risk mantle cell lymphoma, this study suggests there's a path forward that might be faster and cleaner than the old grind. Instead of spending years on maintenance therapy, constantly hovering over relapse risk, you could potentially get hit hard once, get your cells upgraded, and walk out the other side with a real shot at remission. But, and this is important, CARMAN is a phase 2 trial. That means it's still proving the concept works. It's not the final word. Phase 3 trials, which are currently running, need to confirm these findings in bigger populations, and we won't know long-term outcomes for years. There's also the practical question of access. CRT therapy is expensive, requires specialized centers, and isn't available everywhere. Plus, not every patient with high-risk mantle cell lymphoma will qualify or tolerate the approach. This isn't a magic bullet that works for everyone, but what CARMAN really challenges is our timing instinct. For decades, cancer doctors operated on a principle of restraint. Don't escalate treatment until you have to. Chemotherapy is nasty. CRT is risky. So we saved the big guns for when patients were truly desperate. What this trial whispers is that maybe that logic is backward. Maybe hitting aggressive cancers early with the most potent tools available, when patients are healthier and their bodies more resilient, actually gives better outcomes with comparable toxicity. That flips the whole decision tree. And if it's true for mantle cell lymphoma, the question becomes, what other cancers have we been undertreating up front? What other save-it-for-later strategies are actually costing us time and survival? Leukemia researchers are already asking these questions. CAR-T developers are designing new generations of cells. And the field is starting to accept that sometimes being aggressive early isn't reckless. It's smart. The real mind-bender here is this. We've been thinking about cancer treatment like generals planning a slow campaign, retreating to stronger positions when the enemy advances. But what if the best strategy is to identify the enemy early, equip your army with superior weapons, and attack before they're dug in? Turns out, scientists have been busy, and they're not done yet.